Thank you. Biogene's business is about developing novel insecticides based on natural biological products that work in a completely different way to products used on the market today, which gives them the unique characteristic of being able to address resistance. So I've got a few slides I'd like to go through with you today. First of all, let's talk about the issue of the global problem of pest control and what is it that we're trying to address. So the ag chem industry is seeking new products to replace older, outdated technology that we have. We're losing a lot of products in the market today due to resistance developing in pest populations, making the products less effective than they have been in the past. We're also losing products due to the environmental impact and the concerns about toxicology. So people are looking for safer, newer alternatives to the ones we have today. So the issues, what the problems that pests cause, of course, is around losses of crops when they're growing. Also, once that crop's been taken off and put into grain storage, there's a lot of pests that are difficult to control in that space as well. A big market potential for us is in vector-borne diseases, so controlling mosquitoes that carry diseases such as malaria, Zika virus, dengue fever, etc. And of course, consumers are really driving the push towards greener biological products, either to use around their home or in the pipeline for food production around the world. The problem with this issue of insect control is actually getting worse, not better. We're finding over time that more and more insect species are developing resistance to the chemistry currently available, and it's becoming more and more difficult to find new chemistry that shows some kind of indication of insecticidal activity. So products like what Biogene have are very hard to come by and very rare in the market. What do new compounds need to demonstrate in order to be effective for the marketplace? We kind of narrow it down to four major buckets. Firstly, of course, they need to be efficacious on the target species that you have. But what we want them to be is safer chemistry, what we would call softer chemistry. That is, has less impact on the environment and less impact on what we would call beneficial insects. So bees are a great example of that, pollinators. We don't want to control off-target species or impact off-target species when we're trying to target other pests. What's really important is that we're looking for chemistry that has a new mode of action. What I mean by that is chemistry that works very differently than how products are being used today or how those products control the pests today. This enables this chemistry to control those pests that are resistant to other chemistry on the market today and allow companies to have effective products in controlling pests. We also need to be able to make the products to scale and economically viable. So better than just having an idea, you need to be able to bring that product to market. So Biogene has two lead products. I mentioned about derived from nature and natural products. The first product we call Q-Side is essentially an oil that's drawn out of a rare cultivar of a species of eucalypt in Australia called Gympie messmate. And we extract the oil directly from the leaves of those trees that we're growing in Queensland. That product, that oil is very high in an active ingredient, the active compound that we need, so we can use that oil directly in formulations for new insecticides. We also have another lead compound, a product called Flavicide, which is what we call a nature identical compound. It is found in nature, but not in quantities that would make that commercially viable to use. So we've developed a process to be able to synthesize that molecule at scale. How do our technologies then address the needs of the industry? So first of all, what we've been able to demonstrate is the products are efficacious or work against target species. So these are species that attack crops when they're growing in storage, the mosquitoes that carry the diseases, and household pests and companion animal pests, etc. We've been able to demonstrate within that also that we can control populations of pests that are resistant to other chemistry in lab and field trials. We've also been able to demonstrate that our technology is safe, relatively safe, particularly versus other chemistry. So if we're talking about beneficial insects, we are very low, have a very low tox profile to species such as bees. And we also have a low tox profile to mammals and humans, etc. As part of our registration package, we have to demonstrate that. Really excitingly, we have this novel mode of action. So we've been able to demonstrate that our technology works very differently than other technologies on the market today, and therefore can address the issue of resistance in the marketplace that other chemistries are currently failing because of. And through the Australian government research organisation CSIRO, we've been able to develop this new synthetic pathway for production of the flavicide, the synthetic molecule, as well as working with universities in Queensland to increase our oil production, cloning the trees that we want to plant out and grow our plantations and forests in for production of the natural product. The way we will get our products to market is to partner with commercial companies that are dominant in their fields today. So these are global companies, many of them you would be aware of, based in Asia, based in Europe, based in North America, for example. These companies are leaders in their fields, already have market access, have the support and the resources to manage the technology, and a need, more importantly, to include such new technology into their brands to keep them viable and relative in the marketplace today. So our aim of the last few months has been to travel the world and meet with these companies and get them to look at our technology and evaluate it in their own laboratories. The aim is to try and help them identify the opportunities that they're interested in addressing or pursuing with us for their portfolios and areas of interest. So we're excited that we've got a number of companies already testing our technology under non-disclosure agreements that are looking for how they can use our technology within their portfolios and their particular brands. So where we see a big milestone for our company is being able to announce to the world and the market that we have some of these collaborations underway and we have a direct line of sight with a venture partner, a joint venture partner such as a chemical company, of how we would bring products to market and how Biogene would receive revenue. So essentially we're looking at a royalty stream program that enables Biogene to capture value for our technology, but using the platform of these dominant multinational companies and their existing brand strength in the marketplace. So the next step for us then is on the back of that is ultimately we would need to raise some additional capital in the next 12, 18 months or so to enable us to complete the registration process. And we believe the best time for that would be once we can announce a couple of these venture programs with these chemical companies. At the moment, we have good cash reserves from our Australian listing on the exchange about 18 months ago, so we're not in a hurry to raise money, but one of the reasons we're here this week is to meet investors in this part of the world and explain our story with the potential to perhaps work with you guys further in the future. So again, key milestone that we're looking for in the future is being able to announce our partnerships with some major international corporations that show us the way to get our products to market. And we believe that the investor world, certainly within Australia, will react very strongly to that and increase the value of our shares over that time. So maybe just to finish up on the milestones we've already delivered on, we have a lot of good data on hand that we're discussing with these companies that prove the concept of our technology and particularly how well it works on resistant pests. Our toxicology profiles are very strong and the data we're collecting towards registration of the active materials. We've had numerous discussions with multiple companies around the world, global leaders in their field. We understand very succinctly the mode of action and how this is very different chemistry than what's being used today. We've got very good intellectual property and we're applying for new patents regularly and gathering further intellectual property. We're improving our manufacturing capability and we're surrounding ourselves with experts in their fields in all of the areas of science we're looking at globally to help us on our journey and create really good data that's worthy of discussion, people. So I'm going to finish up there. I appreciate your time today. I am around for this afternoon for those I haven't caught up with yet in the room. Very happy to have a discussion or catch up with people again. So thanks for your time.